Is there a more overvalued fighter in boxing today than Keith Thurman? And let me explain. Keith's fought 3 times in 5 years, 5+ years. He's only fought 1 true welterweight in Manny Pacquiao. He lost that fight. Is Keith Thurman the first fighter in boxing history to not have a meaningful victory against anybody in his division in 5+ years and still be ranked top 6, 7 in said division? I just want to see Keith serve his purpose. If you look at the landscape of 147, you have, let's be honest, Spence and Crawford are going to be busy with each other for a while because any deal that is made is going to involve a rematch clause on both sides. So these guys are realistically going to be busy with each other until the end of 2023, the 2 top dogs. Yordenis Ugas is an established fighter in the division. So he's going to have to fight one of the young up-and-coming guys. But if you look at the rest of the landscape at 147, it's full of younger up-and-coming guys. You got Conor Benn, you got Virgil Ortiz, you got Boots Ennis, you got Stanionis, you got Butayev, you got Crowley. And all these guys are going to be looking for somebody to fight, to clout chase off of. And the natural recycling process in boxing is this. It's, you have young up-and-coming fighters in the division, and they have older, past their prime, established guys with names that they clout chase off of. That's the natural process, right? And Keith Thurman, guys like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Adrian Broner benefited from this on the front end of their career. They had older established names to feed off of in order to get to the next level. Gatekeeper, basically. And Keith Thurman at this point in his career has to serve his purpose to boxing and boxing fans as a glorified gatekeeper fighter. And it works for him too because he benefits off of what he did early in his career. And although he hasn't done anything later in his career, he still benefits off of what he did earlier and the name that he established earlier in his career. And he can get paid well off of being a glorified gatekeeper, but he needs to serve that purpose because I see no other purpose that Keith Thurman can serve right now. He's not going to get Crawford and Spence, nor does he deserve that. I don't want to see him fight Tank Davis because I want to see Tank Davis fight top guys at 135. I don't want to see Keith Thurman move up to 154 because Keith Thurman hasn't fought a true welterweight other than Manny Pacquiao in the past 5 years. So why would I want to see him move up to 154? I want to see him serve a purpose in the division and fight guys like Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, Conor Benn just called him out. And by the way, I say this all the time. There are 2 things tell you everything you need to know about a fighter. It's how their handlers handle them. And what do we know about Keith Thurman? His handlers have been handling him as a fragile object for the past 5 years. And number 2, how the fighters in and around the weight class, how their peers react to them when their name is brought up. Everybody and their grandma at 147 is calling out Keith Thurman because they see him as fish food. They see him as a name to clout chase off of and an easier victory than the other up-and-coming fighters in the division. So if Crowley isn't going to fight Ben, and Ben isn't going to fight Ennis, and Ennis isn't going to fight Virgil Ortiz, and Stanionis and Butayev have fought each other, credit to them. But if these younger up-and-coming fighters aren't going to mix it up with each other, which I'm told by boxing fans that they shouldn't because it's too risky, well, if that's the case, we need established fighters for these fighters to fight. Where are they? If you look at the landscape in the top 10, other than Spence, Crawford, and Ugas, they don't exist. Other than Thurman, Danny Garcia, which is he going to move to 154? Is he going to stay at 147? Is he going to fight? A guy like Adrian Broner who's talking about a comeback. We need names like that for these guys to either establish their careers and move up to the next level or get exposed against. So if Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz are not who we say they are, then a guy like Keith Thurman will expose them. But we need a guy like Keith Thurman to use as a measuring stick for these fighters. I'm out. God bless.